So, what do you think about Lamont Roach and him?
Oh man, that's a good fight.
After months of speculation and search, Gervonta Davis has finally found an opponent for the past few months. There was only one question in every fan's mind: who is Davis going to fight next? And now that we eventually found an answer to this troubling question, the selection by Tank surprised everyone, as the World Boxing Association's super featherweight champion Lamont Roach Jr. is being touted as his next opponent as per the latest announcement after Davis's successful title defense against Frank Martin in June. Davis's camp discussed many names, though they were unsuccessful in securing a fight with any of them as the year progressed. And with premier boxing champions struggling to find a suitable match for Davis, the situation began to look bleak for the fighter who was eager to return to the ring before year's end. However, the ultimate decision to go with the Maryland native Roach has created waves across the boxing community. Rick Glazer, a boxing promoter and insider, revealed the news, sending shockwaves through the sport. Glazer took to X and stated that Lamont Roach Jr. for his Tank Davis fight would be going up a division to lightweight. However, the move to up 135 would be for one fight only. On X, Rick Glazer posted breaking: Tank Davis's next opponent is going to be World Boxing Association 130 pounds champion Lamont Roach, moving up to 135 pounds. For this fight, only it'll be in December. They're both from Maryland, so it could well be in the DMV region, details being finalized revealed. Glazer, the International Boxing Hall of Fame elector, also stated that the fight will be in December. In line with the previous reports, this will be Gervonta Davis's second fight this year since his return to the ring after a year of absence from the ring. The finer details of the fight are still being discussed, but there is a huge possibility that the fight will take place in the Washington area, as both boxers hail from Maryland. The premier boxing champions, for their part, is yet to make an official announcement on this. It was an entirely shocking choice, as Roach was not even in the discussion of possible prospect for Davis. Fans were expecting a big matchup, as names like Shakur Stevenson and Vasyl Lomachenko were being discussed. The obvious weight difference was one of the reasons no one considered Roach as a serious contender for Davis, with no lack of talent in the lightweight division, finalizing as super featherweight as the.
That's a real good fight. I would love to see that. That's a scrappy. That'd be a scrappy fight.
Next opponent is sure to make boxing fans scratch their heads, and as expected, the reaction by fans was not kind to the news broken by Rick Glazer. Fans were not kind to the news, as they were expecting something big from Tank. With his current form, there were so many opportunities for a potential dream fight that could have sold stadiums out. The news visibly frustrated one fan, as he wrote, "So Haney just came out and said he could have been ready to fight in October. Tank couldn't send him an offer. He couldn't send Teo an offer. Shake my head. The fact that Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney were also looking for their next opponent, and yet a deal could not be reached, just made the announcement all the more disappointing for the fan. Both Haney and Lopez were in talks for a fight in Riyadh in October, but the latter was not ready at the time, so December would have been perfect for both of these boxers to get back in the ring, and a fight against Davis would have been a very big pace. Similarly, another fan was surprised by the news, as he wrote, "This better not be true," as soon as the news broke out. But another frustrated fan directly questioned the quality of the match and threw shade at the premier boxing champions. "This is not breaking at all. Another trash fight from PBC.
I got Shushu boxing a little bit more than Roach.
This is going to flop so bad at a $90 PPV will be streamed," wrote the fan, slamming PBC over the choice of opponent for Gervonta Davis. The fan was clear that this fight did not deserve a PPV rate of $90, and John Davis could have chosen a far better opponent in a rare sight, a fan defended. Davis, as he couldn't understand the reason behind everyone's anger. "If this is true, can you really get mad at Tanks? He's staying at 135 and everyone is ducking him in that weight class," the fan wrote, suggesting that Roach might have been the best available option for Davis. While this matchup may not be the fight fans have been hoping for, Roach is a highly skilled boxer who could potentially give Davis a run for his money. Whether or not this fight lives up to expectations remains to be seen. Roach is on a run of 6 victories since then, including one over former Tank Davis foe Hector Luis Garcia. Regardless, most aren't impressed by the matchmaking, including former undisputed lightweight champion and current World Boxing Council super lightweight champion Devin Haney. Haney who was included within a group of young American fighters alongside Davis that fans want to see fight, laughed at the news. Tank responded quickly with a picture of Haney taking a shot from shared opponent Ryan Garcia, saying, "Let's keep laughing, your face hates to see a left hook coming." Davis also posted comparing their fights. He stopped Garcia with a body shot last year, but the latter bounced back to defeat Haney via decision before failed doping tests led to the result being overturned to a no contest. Haney currently doesn't have a return date, recently revealing that Teofimo Lopez turned down an offer for a unification fight should Davis decide to move up to the 140 ranks again. Soon fans will hope they settle their differences in the ring, but it isn't just Devin Haney who finds Tank's selection laughable. Once again, Gary Russell Jr. is calling for a fight with Gervonta Tank Davis. "I would love to get back in the game," Russell said in a recent interview with the boxing source. "I hear Tank doesn't have an opponent yet. What's up, Tank? They say he hasn't got any opponent yet. I'm open to it." Russell is more than open to it given that he's mentioned Davis's name for years. In December 2020, Russell promised he would spank that ass in February 2021. He said he represented too much of a risk for Davis. In July 2021, Russell said that a fight with Davis would sell more pay-per-views than Tank's most recent fight against Mario Barros in January 2022, just days ahead of Russell's last appearance in the ring against Mark Mago. The DC area native called for a fight with Davis, who hails from nearby Baltimore, in a rematch with Vasily Lomachenko. It goes back even further, and it continues today. "It's never been personal or anything like that," Russell told the boxing source. "I just think the sport, it's been too small for both of us to coexist and not at least come together to see what had happened. For some weird reason, he strayed away from it." Him or his team. Russell has had more interviews talking about Davis in recent years than the former featherweight title holder has had appearances in the ring, often criticized for taking just one fight per year from 2015 into the pandemic-altered schedule of 2020. Russell then spent nearly 2 years out of action between his win in February 2020 over Tug S. Nambar and then losing his World Boxing Council belt to Mago via majority decision in January 2022. Russell's father passed away in May 2022. One of Russell's brothers passed away in 2022, and Gary Jr. has helped raise that brother's children. Davis hasn't been a featherweight since 2014, very early in his career, though he could conceivably move up given that he's been at 126 pounds since turning professional. In 2009, Davis is a former junior lightweight title holder and holds the World Boxing Association title. At 135 pounds, Davis is also one of the biggest superstars in the United States, so it's little surprise that Russell has even more reason to call out Tank Davis. Last fought in June when he stopped Frank Martin. He is expected to headline another pay-per-view before the end of 2020. For though his opponent is yet to be announced, negotiations with Lomachenko didn't produce an agreement. Lomachenko's team said the Ukrainian is taking off the remainder of the year. Davis and Shakur Stevenson went in separate directions. A rematch with Isaac Cruz became less appealing once Cruz lost his title to Jose Ario Valenzuela in August. "Y'all need somebody to fight," Russell said.
"Everybody stay the fuck out the way. Gervonta Tank Davis, I'm on your ass. Leo Santa Cruz, I'm on your ass. I'm keeping my foot on these niggas' necks, man."
"I'm open to it." This came just after Tank Davis was reportedly targeting a rematch with Isaac Cruz after the Mexican became only one of 2 men to take him the distance. Back in 2021, those plans were scuppered by one Jose Valenzuela. El Rio beat Cruz for his WBA super lightweight world title in August. Naturally, many in the sport began to speculate that the winner was now in line for Davis, even despite his trainer Robert Garcia stating clearly that they wouldn't fight again this year. Well, the reports of a Devon Davis versus Ru Valenzuela fight was further confirmed by boxer Rand Garcia on his X-handle. Garcia is currently suspended from the
Baltimore, y'all supposed to be known for being all these gangsters and go hard
sport for a year after failing multiple drugs tests in the aftermath of his incredible win over Devin Haney, which was later overturned. He is already attempting to make moves for his planned return in April 2025 and has issued a call out to current WBO super lightweight world champion Lopez. He wrote on Twitter, "Ryan Garcia versus Teofimo Lopez for my return in April. Let's make it happen." Teo, a fan in the comments, then reminded Garcia that he had suggested he would fight recently crowned World Boxing Association super lightweight champion Jose Ario Valenzuela, and he responded he is Fighting Gervonta Davis has yet to secure his next fight, but has been in talks with the likes of Vasyl Lomachenko and Shakur Stevenson. A clash with Valenzuela may not make sense for Tank in his current trajectory, given he is focusing on his career at lightweight trainer Robert Garcia. Also dismissed the idea, insisting he isn't sure where the rumors have come from, with a switch likely to be necessary for a meeting to be agreed. Valenzuela may also face Isaac Cruz for a second time, given a rematch. Clause could well be available for Mexican challenger, who was upset in their clash last month. A November 23rd or December 14th return is being plotted for Davis, according to reports, whereas trainer Garcia has swiftly denied claims Valenzuela could return before the end of the year. Promoter Leonard Ellerby discussed Davis's next move, insisting there were still multiple options on the table. Tank will be back before the end of the year, he said.
Now, Riley's a world champion.
Good luck charm.
He is, he's calling. Every time we have a big fight, he calls me. Every time there's another big fight, and he's like, Coach, I just want to tell you, they're not better coaches than you. You're the best, because you always come up with the best game plans. You always come up with the best strategies. You could always change the game plan from one to another. So he always tells me that. So that, I'm always gonna have that love for him, because he was my 10th world champion.
Looking at a couple guys right now, but he'll be back before the end of the year. As it relates to the Shakur Stevenson fight, Tank wants him, but it's all about the timing of everything. Speaking to ES News from the gym, Valenzuela shut down the speculation, saying that the contracted rematch with Cruz takes precedence. I don't got a date yet, but I'm just moving around. Yeah, of course the fans are asking me about the Tank fight, because they were excited about it, because that's what they're hearing. Not in November. I got a rematch clause with Pitbull, so we're waiting for them, and we'll go from there. Those who still believe the fight, which would likely see Davis step up to 140 pounds for the second time in his campaign, is next, will assume a step-aside deal is being worked out with Cruz. The knockout artist from Baltimore came back in June after over a year out of the ring as the newly elevated champion at 35, putting a stamp on his status with an emphatic stoppage of previously undefeated southpaw Frank Martin. Tank would immediately enter talks for a unification bout with Vasily Lomachenko, but the Ukrainian pulled out due to a lack of motivation to fight again this year. The new reported opponent isn't on the same level. Dan Rafael today revealed that the man slated for the opposite corner is Lamont Roach, a decorated amateur and former super featherweight world title challenger. That fight being his sole loss courtesy of Jamal Herring, regardless of what Gervonta Davis is doing with his career. The fight fans really want to see is him against Shakur Stevenson. Stevenson told Boxing Scene that a fight with Davis would be the biggest fight in the world. If we are really thinking about it, talk of a title unification against World Boxing Association champion Gervonta Tank Davis has been all the rage during the promotional stages of Stevenson's fight against Harutanian, much like it was for Davis.
That sounds like somebody scared of losing, so I don't pay no mind to it. Like I said, I got Artem in front of me, and that's the focus, and Saturday will be a great show.
During his knockout win over Frank Martin last 3 months, I have the best seat in the house. Stevenson told Boxing Scene, we all know that me and Tank are going.
Tank, or would it be Ryan Garcia?
Nah, Ryan, just X him out. He's trash. It's gonna be Tank. I ain't say it before, but I'm gonna say it. Like, me and him, the big fight.
3 people in the world that I think that could beat Tank. That would be Devin, that would be Shakur, and Tank Davis himself.
You got the last one right. That's the only person that can beat me, Gervonta Davis. That's the only person that not touch me at all. They all been in the ring with me. They all been in the ring, and I cracked both of them. I cracked both of them.
I feel you. I told you it's a 50-50 fight.
Ain't no 50-50 fight. How you gonna keep me off when you ain't got no power?
I was also told that Devin got the best of you in the last sparring session.
And you know I sparred him twice.
That's right. If Bill
took him out the ring, I almost knocked him out in Floyd gym. Did they tell you that? Did they tell you that?
I don't know, but I ain't hear that.
Oh, okay. Tell to Devin and his dad to get out my. Tell him. Be prepared. Because after these first 2, oh man, I'm coming straight at it.
To be the biggest fight in years to come, everybody and any promoter will want to be involved when that happens. I just sit back and chill and try not to think about it. I'll think about it when it happens. It's no question my fight with Davis is going to stop everyone Saturday night. That's like the biggest fight in the world. If we are really thinking about it, every hood in America is going to want to watch that fight. It's going to be a tremendous fight. That's the biggest and best fight to make in boxing. He then continued, that's the game plan for me and the end goal. That's the fight that I am going to kick the door down with. Honestly, that's the direction I want to go. And Davis said, he has Stevenson on his hit list, but has instead zeroed in on IBF lightweight title holder Vasyl Lomachenko.
So what is your expectations leading to this fight?
I don't have no expectations.
As both sides are already engaged in negotiations, Stevenson said, he is willing to switch between 140 and 135 pounds for the right fights. As he enters the free agency phase of his career, I'm going to be at 135. LB for a minute, said Stevenson. I want to be undisputed at 135 and get the belts won by one I know that my time will come. Tank Davis has nowhere else to go but to fight me. At the end of the day, me and him will have to fight. And that's my opportunity. But for now, we're focused on this fight. Devon Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach is a potential fight for December 21st on PBC on Prime Video.
I'm just going in there having fun. I think that's the main thing. Just go in there, have fun. Don't have expectations and just give it on.
PPV at the Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C. It's still too early to know the event's pay-per-view price or who will be on the undercard, but $74.95 would be the likely number at that price. Tank Roach will be lucky if it brings in 200,000 buys, but Tank's management would likely be pleased with that low figure. That's how much Tank Davis's last event on June 15 sold for on PBC on Prime Video. PPV Tank defended against Frank Martin in that event with David Benovitz fighting on the undercard. Benovitz is rumored to be fighting on Tank Davis's undercard for this event as well, but that's yet to be confirmed. If PBC priced it at the same $74.95, they would need a strong undercard with Benovitz. Fans will not want to pay that kind of money to watch Tank Davis beat another soft opponent who has never beaten anyone of note. This fight should not even be sanctioned, given that Roach isn't ranked in the top 15 at lightweight and would jump ahead of the top contenders to get a title shot. There will need to be great.
And Lamont Roach. Lamont Roach is gritty, man. Lamont Roach is gritty. What do you think? Yeah. Tell me if I'm right about this or not. Best dude at 130 is O'Shaquie Foster.
Fights on the undercard to charge that kind of money for a lackluster headliner. Roach, January 1st. 25-10 fights at 130, holds the WBA super featherweight title and would be moving up to 135 to challenge Tank Davis for his WBA secondary lightweight belt. Dan Raphael reports mentions on X that it would be a regional grudge match, as Roach is from Washington, D.C. and Tank Davis is from Baltimore. Years ago, Roach was viewed as a future star in the sport. However, after a 10-round draw against Orlando CRW in 2018 and a 12-round split decision defeat against Jamal Harrington in 2019, Roach is no longer talked about much and isn't viewed as star material. Although Roach holds the WBA super featherweight title, he captured it with a 12-round split decision over Hector Luis Garcia last year. In November, Hector is a fighter Tank Davis knocked out in 9 rounds in January 2023. Tank Davis's management seems to have a formula for matching him. They choose weak opposition and keep him away from dangerous fighters who could potentially age or beat him. There are plenty of lightweight contenders that Tank Davis's management could choose to match him with, but aren't. And that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel. And don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop quality contents like this. Until next time, peace out.